Trinity. Well, in Proverbs 7, we're going to read all 27 verses. We continue with this idea of adultery, and the sage, the author of Proverbs, tells us a story. And it's actually a pretty lively story for Proverbs. You don't really expect it here in this part of the Old Testament. I don't know if the word lurid is too strong to say it's a lurid story. It is a lively story of moral tragedy. And Proverbs tells us this story to try to save us from tragedy ourselves. Here's how he begins in Proverbs 7:1. My son, keep my words and treasure up my commandments with you. Keep my commandments and live. Keep my teaching as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call insight your intimate friend, to keep you from the forbidden woman, from the adulteress with her smooth words. For at the window of my house I have looked out through my lattice, and I have seen among the simple, I have perceived among the youths a young man lacking sense, passing along the street near her corner, taking the road to her house in the twilight, in the evening, at the time of night and darkness. And behold, the woman meets him, dressed as a prostitute, wily of heart. She's loud and wayward, her feet do not stay at home. Now in the street, now in the market, and at every corner she lies in wait. She seizes him and kisses him, and with bold face she says to him, I had to offer sacrifices, and today I have paid my vows, so now I have come out to meet you, to seek you eagerly, and I have found you. I've spread my couch with coverings, colored linens from Egyptian linen. I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love till morning. Let us delight ourselves with love, for my husband's not at home. He has gone on a long journey. He took a bag of money with him. At full moon he will come home. With such seductive speech she persuades him. With her smooth talk she compels him. All at once he follows her, as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a stag is caught fast, till an arrow pierces its liver, as a bird rushes into a snare. He does not know that it will cost him his life. It says, and now, O sons, listen to me, and be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths. For many a victim she has laid low, and all her slain are a mighty throng. Her house is the way to Sheol, going down to the chambers of death. You know, if this were Proverbs' advice to the writer's daughters, it might have been a story about a man who comes out and is a predator who wants to take this person and for momentary pleasure, for conquest or something, put them in the middle of a huge disaster and embroil them in unfaithfulness and actually put them like a bird in a trap, it says. Really, whoever it is, there could be somebody like this. And Proverbs' advice is, listen to me, be attentive to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart turn aside to her ways, and do not stray into her paths. Basically, Proverbs is saying this whole thing could have been avoided if you didn't go dawdle on her street corner, hoping that somebody would come along to tempt you. And the same is true with us, even when it's not as big of a sin as adultery. When I say big, I mean even if it's not something as harmful that is going to damage many people all at once in the course of a day. We foolishly linger where we know we are tempted. And Proverbs says, don't. Before you get to sin, don't even wander onto sin's street. If you know that's going to be a place where you're going to be tempted to go against God and against wisdom, to end up in a trap that's going to be painful to you just like it's been every time, and harmful to others. Because there's a better way. There's a way of wisdom that we can walk in and flourish.